Many people use SketchUp, but not many understand the fundamentals. Let's learn the fundamental effectively in under 10 minutes. Welcome to Pokken channel. In this video, we'll break down the fundamental of SketchUp to help you understand how it really works and become a master. When you understand the fundamentals, even beginners can grow independently and become professionals. There are many 3D software options that can create designs like this. We are choosing SketchUp because it's easy to learn, simple, and flexible. We'll also start adapting AI as an assistant to work faster and stay aware of technological advancements. Grab a coffee and, most importantly, drink plenty of water. The interface. Let's get familiar with the SketchUp interface. In the center, this is the viewport, the main working area where we create and edit our model. At the top, you'll find the toolbar, which contains the tools we use for drawing, editing, and modifying objects. On the right side, there's the default tray. This panel is used for settings such as materials, layers, components, and other model informations. At the bottom, you'll see the measurements box. This area displays size information and allows you to type in exact dimensions for precise modeling. Right next to it, there's an information panel that shows tips or instructions for the tool currently in use. This is very helpful, especially for beginners. You also notice a human figure in this scene. This figure is approximately 1.7 meters tall and serves as a scale reference, helping us understand proportions and real-world size. Finally, here we have the axis, represented by red, green, and blue lines. These are the X, Y, and Z axis. The axes are extremely important because SketchUp works based on direction and precision. Navigation. Navigation is all about controllers. SketchUp can be operated using different input devices, such as mouse, keyboard, trackpad, pen tablet. The most commonly used is a mouse. The left mouse button is used for selection. The right mouse button opens the context or option menu. Scrolling the mouse wheel forward will zoom in, and scrolling backward will zoom out. The middle mouse button is used to orbit around the model. If you hold Shift plus middle mouse button, you can pan the view. The keyboard is mainly used for shortcuts. For example, pressing the O key to activate the orbit tool. Let's enable SketchUp's default working tools. Right-click on the top toolbar and check Large Tool Set. One of the most frequently used tools is the Line tool. To use it, click once, then move your cursor. You can align the line along the red, green, or blue axis. When the direction is correct, click again to set the point. Then move your cursor again, click, move, and click, continuing the line step by step. You'll notice an end point, which marks the end of the line. When lines connect perfectly and form a closed shape, SketchUp automatically creates a surface called a face. This face is the foundation of most 3D models in SketchUp. The next tool is the circle. The method is similar. Click once, then drag to define the circle. Pay attention to the bottom right corner, where you'll see the radius value. You can type the radius manually using the keyboard to set an exact size. For example, type 100, then press enter. The radius is half of the circle's diameter. Next is the rectangle tool. The method is the same. Click once, then drag to create a rectangle. If you see a diagonal line across the shape, it means the rectangle is a square. You can also type exact dimensions using the keyboard for more precision. For example, to create a 100 by 100 square, type 100 semicolon 100, then press enter. Depending on your SketchUp version or regional settings, the separator symbol may differ. It can be a semicolon, a comma, or a period. This rectangle consists of 5 parts, or 5 entities. There is one face and 4 edges, or the outline. If we open Entity Info, you'll see the label face when a surface is selected. If you double-click on the face, SketchUp will automatically select all connected geometry, in this case, 5 entities. Now, let's talk about selection controls. Pressing Ctrl on the keyboard while clicking, add to the selection. Pressing Ctrl plus Shift while clicking, removes the selection. Using Shift works as a toggle. If an object is not selected, it becomes selected, and if it is already selected, it becomes deselected. There is also another way to select objects by dragging a selection box. If you drag from left to right, SketchUp will select only the entities fully inside the box. If you drag from right to left, SketchUp will select all entities that touch or intersect the box. So, remember, left to right selects inside only, right to left selects everything that intersects. Finally, to clear the selection, simply click on empty space outside the object. To create thickness or volume from a flat surface, we use the push-pull. The method is simple. Click once on the face, drag it up or down, then click again to finish. You can also duplicate a face using push-pull. Ctrl key and click to complete the action. Holding Alt allows you to stretch the geometry, creating an effect like this. Push-pull is one of the most important tools in SketchUp because it turns 2D shapes into 3D objects. Two-point arc. Two-point arc tool is used to create curves by connecting one point to another. If the arc is correct and closed, it will automatically form a face. The eraser tool is used to erase lines or edges. It cannot erase faces. To delete a face, select it and press the delete key on the keyboard. Now let's use Follow Me. First, create a rectangle. While the rectangle tool is active, press the left arrow to lock to the green axis, the up arrow for the blue axis, and the right arrow for the red axis. Next, select the Follow Me tool. You can click the rectangle face and move it along the edges. But in this case, the method is not effective. First, select the circular face, then activate Follow Me, and click on the rectangle face. This method works perfectly. Sometimes following a line path is more effective. Okay, these are some fundamental tools that we've learned today. Hopefully, this tutorial is useful. Don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.